The Chinese regime has attacked press freedom in an official publication released earlier this month. They say media reform led to the collapse of the former Soviet Union and could spell the same end for the Chinese Communist Party.
An official publication of the Chinese regime has slammed press freedom, saying it could lead to the collapse of the Chinese Communist Party. It comes amid mounting international and domestic calls for greater freedom of speech in the country. The Qiushi magazine released an article on November 1st, blaming the fall of the Soviet Union on its policy of media freedom. The article warns that press freedom leads to a progression of, quote, losing hearts and minds, rising public anger, and loss of political power. There's been increasing pressure on the Chinese regime to loosen control of the media as it tries to gain influence on the world stage. In October, dozens of Chinese journalists and former party elders made a public call for media independence, saying press freedom is guaranteed by the regime's own constitution. International criticism on the regime for controlling freedom of speech also escalated after jailed dissident writer Liu Xiaobo was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize last month. The Qiushi article urged the Chinese regime to resist such calls for press reform, saying in just a few years, media freedom, quote, triggered the collapse of socialism in the Soviet Union, which had been carefully built up over several decades. Former news editor Li Datong told Radio Free Asia that the article's attack on press freedom means the regime has no intention of changing, and anyone who talks about reform is dreaming. The Qiushi magazine is the main theoretical journal of the Chinese Communist Party's Central Committee. The publication is responsible for disseminating communist ideology to officials.